So we spent quite a long while in Whangarei, longer than we expected, just trying to get our boat ready for the next leg of our big journey. This marina is really cool. It's a small little pontoon, but it's quite a nice little cruiser community there, and it's easy to do boat jobs and work on your boat here. There's no major issues really with them.
You and me, we're family. The bond that we share is as deep as the sea. No matter how rough things may come to be, you and me, we're family.
We've got the car that Bryce has lent us over there, and our boat is down the pontoon over there, and this is like where we're using for schooling, in this pagoda thing here. This is like possibly the day before we go, and so we're just fixing things, doing a mast check, which hasn't been done for a while, and also putting up the new halyard for the ballooner, which snapped, and hopefully fixing the steaming light.
So this time I've got two jobs to do. I've got to rethread the halyard. The halyard actually snapped. I think it was because when we were trying to take away the halyard snap, we would over tighten it, and I think it's just been rubbing and rubbing on something up there. So one of the jobs is to check the sheaves as well, make sure there's no the sheaves haven't broken and it's been rubbing on that.
Darry's on a safety line. We always take 2 lines up, aren't you, Darry? And I'm pulling, or let's say winching Woody up on the Genoa halyard. Also trying to concentrate on what's going on up there.
So we've had to drop the Genoa to use the Genoa halyard to go up the mast, and I rigged a safety line up on a block a long time ago, so we're using that as a secondary line as well. In any job, the secret is always in the preparation, so clearing your workspace, using the right tools and all that sort of thing, but even more so when you're going up the mast, because once you're up there you can't sort out any little niggly problems. So it's always worth testing your tools before you go up. Tried the rivet gun, and there was a slight bit of corrosion in the hole in the end, which means the rivets weren't going in. So I need a little Dremel tool to clean that out. Obviously you can't do that on the top of the mast. Also make sure that any cordless tools are powered up as well. Make sure the batteries are fully charged, because there's nothing worse than halfway through drilling a hole in the top of the mast and then the battery runs out and you've got to come all the way back down or get somebody to hoist a new battery up.
So we managed to thread the line through. That wasn't really a big problem. It didn't go through the first time, it came through the second time, our ballooner halyard. That was good. So that's all up and safe now.
So the second job is to replace the steaming light, which blew off in the last cyclone. The rivets are in place, but they're just pulled out somehow. Anyway, we've got a new one at great expense, but the rivet holes are in a slightly different place, so I've got to re-drill those, rivet that in place and wire it up.
This is what you call a race against time, or let's say race against the weather, because we've got these clouds looming, and Woody's trying to do the steaming light. It rains every afternoon here at this time of year, so we're trying to do it before that. The main town is connected by several bridges. There's the main bridge up there, and then sort of pedestrian bridges. But the river's got this loop walk you can go around. There's also loads of other stuff that you can do here in Whangarei. There's obviously shops for everything you need, and there's art galleries and cafes. They also have cultural events celebrating the diversity here in Whangarei. Whangarei is also home to the Hundertwasser Art Centre, which is designed by Austrian artist architecture who lived in the Bay of Islands for 30 years. Most of the building was built with recycled bricks, recycled timber and tiles, and it was important for the whole of the roof to be covered with a garden. Hundertwasser's philosophy was that architecture and creativity should be in harmony with nature. And here is another thing we have never seen before, which is glass blowing at the Grinter Glass Blowing Studio. So back to the boat, another important job was to refabricate and reinforce part of the tow rail. But if you want to know more details on this, I suggest you to head over to the Mothership maintenance channel. If you like following our story, please hit the super thanks and help towards the creation of these videos. And if you'd like to have more access, we would love it if you join our Patreon family, where you get ad-free videos, cockpit sessions, downloads, guides, and you can message us directly. So one of the places in Whangarei is the library, which we have been coming to, and it's brilliant because they've got everything inside, obviously loads of books and more books. And we've been doing our schooling there, and just there's a cafe, so we get, sometimes we get hot chocolate, and it's just a great way to get off the boat so everybody can do jobs. What do you think of the library, Ewan?
Thought it was cool.
So it's Ewan's birthday and I am cooking pancakes for his birthday. Everyone else is playing the game of life.
Do you know where you're going, Ewan?
No, I do not know. This is a surprise.
Well, whose house are we at?
We're at
Monty's and Jacob.
Monty's and Jacob.
Yep. So Ewan doesn't know what we're doing, but we're at Sarah's house, Monty and Jacob's house, and we're just picking them up.
Hello, my name is Monty.
Hello, my name is Jacob.
Cool. And we don't know where we're going today, do we? Because it's a surprise, Ewan. Let's go.
I mean,
Tell me what you found.
Yeah, that doesn't
we found plenty of bugs. So
another one.
Hoo bug, cicada. Those are cicada skids.
Whoa, that one's a cool one.
That's actually really cool.
We could not be happier to celebrate Ewan's birthday with our friend Sarah and her two fabulous boys. I mean, basically, this is supposed to be fake teak, but without the kind of the corking between them, it doesn't look like fake teak at all. It's like a tan kind of surface with these grooves in it. So I'm just making it look like fake teak again by putting the corking back in, which is black lines in between. So it's not really corking, it's fake. But I must admit, I've kind of been searching for the last 3 or 4 years for a machine like this, the tool. And I couldn't find it, so I was going to do it all by hand, and I started doing it. And then our friend on Yin Yang just came up with this tool, so I've got the roller. I'm like, seriously? So that this is so much quicker, and it's so much more straighter and easier that, I thought it would take me like 10 days, but it might just take me 4. This is the tool, but it's like a roller, basically. It doesn't roll one go, but you can do it in 2 goes. It's like amazing. If there were good tools, this is a good tool. Today we found time to go to the Clock Museum.
So we all have them on different times. Imagine next week with daylight saving, it would take us.
It kind of clicks into a cog, and the cog moves around, and that's every second.
So what they do is every day they wind the clock up, and so then the weight pulls it down, and that moves this. No, that moves the drum, and which moves that, and then yeah, it just works like that.
These are all springs, so the tension of the spring causes the mechanism to go around.
Look at that one.
These cuckoo clocks have this traditional kind of Swiss design. That's where they came from, and apparently the cuckoo sound comes from 2 different sized pipes, and the wind is kind of pushed through it, which makes the cuckoo. Also, we're quite curious as to why they've got pine cones, but I think that just comes from the traditional pine cones in the forest. Here we go. What do you think of the museum?
I think it was good. I liked it.
Why did you like it?
I liked it because there was so many clocks and it was just like amazing, all the clocks. And also, they give me a scavenger hunt. I had to find all these clocks, and I found them all. So I got a stamp, a nice stamp, and also I got a postcard. Yeah.
So this job has been a long time on the jobs list, and it's kind of been done in fits and starts, like all the way across the Pacific, as I've gone down a lot of kind of blind Alex and trying to source stuff. But it's just been so lucky that I've been parked up next to Bryce here on Yin Yang. He's basically tackling the same problem himself, and he's an auto electrician as well, and so he definitely knows his stuff there, and he also knows a lot of suppliers around here. So finally managed to put this job to bed, and I can tick it off the list and move on. And I'm so glad to see the back of this job. I mean, I could have bought the whole thing from Amel, but it would have cost 4, 5, 6 times as much as what I've actually paid for it. So I think we've got a really solid solution here, actually better than the original.
Okay, today we've come down to Bryce's Sailing Club to try out some boats and go sailing. Feeling a bit landlocked, it was nice to get out on the water and have some fun again. Okay, so Bryce has gone on the laser because it was quite windy for Derry really, and makes it easier us lot on here, and so it's us, Team Mothership, on this 420.
So we're going around to do the second lap again. So yeah, that's what we're doing.
Ready to jibe? And jibe home. Heads down, heads down. We even managed to find a few local footpaths, although a lot had been damaged in the recent storms. So you're seeing all the places where the storm damage has caused lots of landslides and the paths have sort of disappeared. I think I'm going to go down and up. Who wants to do that?
Shapeless in space, colorless and small. I remember you faded.
I'm making a top for the battery box. It's a project I started in Panama and finishing off in New Zealand. So it's taken me the whole Pacific just to finish this one little job. But I couldn't find any plywood anywhere in Polynesia.
And I got the boys to help me cover our interior cushions with recycled sails again. Okay, we're going to hoist the Genoa sail that's now been repaired by UK Sails in Whangarei.
You're a memory now. You're all
Tell me when you're clear.
brown.
You clear?
You're just namelessly
Okay, Derry,
hung on
start
the
slipping.
tip of my tongue.
Finally, the time came to leave the marina, which is always quite hard when you get stuck into your jobs list.
Better than that.
Okay, just watch that post there.
Yeah, it's much better conditions.
You're just dust
So this is pretty good. Without the bow
on the
thruster, we're doing
ground.
fine.
Just a whisper of steam.
So we're gonna go through the bridge and we are going over to an anchorage for we don't know how long. So they just opened the bridge for us, so now we're gonna go through. I feel like bad for all those cars because they're probably like late for work or something and we're just like blocking their way, but I mean, life's life.
It's supposed to be like a fishing hook, and that's the shape of it, but they've all kind of got different meanings and symbolism, these bridges. So it is quite a narrow bit coming through now. We just have to breathe in. Breathe in, Ewan.
Tidbit and soap's light. Shake off the dust. Wipe away the years. Scrape off the rust. Nothing more appears.
Okay, this is day one on anchor since we left the marina. It's kind of, let's say, very lively out there, but yeah, we're not the only ones out here anyway. It's always good to know that we're not the only ones, but this is the deal that we've got at the moment.
You're all faded and brown. You're just namelessly hung on the tip of my tongue in a silent.
Okay, this is day two in this anchorage up on Marsden Point, or One Tree Point, and yeah, didn't sleep very well last night because there's a bit of swell coming in, so the anchor's just, the boat's going up and down, and yeah, it's gusting up to sort of the high 30s, although now it's sort of 20s. So we've decided that we're going to go back up the river and go back to that lovely sheltered spot and just deal with the wind rather than the wind and the swell. And a friend of mine's lending a car so I can get the kids to their holiday activity club next week because we can't go anywhere, so I'll put them in to do some activities. But yeah, these are the conditions. So that's where we want to get to, over there. That's just where the activity club is. It's just over there, but this is the problem when you're out, you've got to find an anchorage to get to these places on shore, and not all anchorage is sheltered. Just because the place on shore is good doesn't mean the anchorage is good. So that's why we're going to go back down the river and then just drive up the half an hour because it's just more sheltered down there. Anyway, this is the typical New Zealand weather that we've had all summer, so nothing's different.
So it's slightly below high.
What's next?
Bilge. Check for leaks in the bilge.
Yeah.
Oh, belt.
Belts. L.
Leaks.
Leaks. So I'm looking around the engine, see if you can see any leaks. No. Pretty clean. And finally,
Engine.
exhaust. We make sure there's, when we start the engine, that there's water coming out the exhaust.
So what are you checking for now, Ewan?
The exhaust, so water needs to come out to see if the exhaust is working.
Tell me when I need to go forwards. This is the first sail. Well, we sailed up the river, as you know, and then we're going back now. So yeah, we just had our Genoa repaired actually by UK Sails. So looking forward to having that out fully when it's not so windy. We're going back up river because it's just too rough out there. But Woody's sort of still finding things to do on the engine and has the generator running because it's cloudy. There is no sun. now in New Zealand, like autumn's come and it's just cold and rainy most of the time. We went out and realised that, you know, the throttle on the was not increasing speed enough, the engine, and it's because basically the elbow has been so clogged up. Hasn't been done for a few years, so really sort of cleaning that out to give us a bit more power on the engine. So that is the update. We're still trying to escape the Whangarei River to head north, but it looks like the weather's going to change and there's going to be some good wind at the end of the week.
We were so happy to be able to have a quick farewell with Sarah and her boys.
Okay, so nice sail up the coast of east coast of New Zealand. Some good breeze. It's sort of 16 knots, 17 knots. We've got all our sails out and we're flying along at about, you know, 7 to 8 knots. And because it's offshore, there's not too much swell either.
So we finally left Whangarei, escaped the river, stopped off one night into Takaka, and now we're heading up to Bay of Islands. Probably staying at Whangarei, I think it's called. It was a perfect day sail. We've got offshore breeze, flat seas, 16 knots, doing 7 or 8 knots speed. There's quite a lot of boats actually, so we've got a bit of a race on.
Thank you for watching and enjoying these videos. So if you're the type of person that would like to thank us in return, then you can simply click on the super thanks button below, or otherwise you can support us on Patreon and get more than just 4 videos a month from as little as $3 a month. We look forward to seeing you there.